Over the past 10 years, I have helped thousands of renters become homeowners. Every guest brings their own unique story, but they all have reached the same ultimate outcome: freedom for themselves and their families. My podcast is here to educate and show you that becoming a homeowner is possible with the right help.
I think I was talking to Jeff, I was like, oh, Darren. Then that was it. The rest was history.
You wouldn't have thought you'd be millionaires by just saying yes in 2020.
It's just given us so much leverage now. And to set the kids up, like we just sort of want to prepare them as best we can.
I'm Darren Walters, and welcome to the Keys to Freedom podcast. Welcome to Keys to Freedom, another episode with school friends and clients, Jeff and Grace. Bought back in 2020 up in Pimpama, house and land package with a pool, $600,000. Listen to the story. Today's desktop valuation, $1.15 million. But I think we both, or all of us, can sit here and go, it's probably realistically 1.3 to 1.5. You've done an amazing job with the pool. It's a beautiful home. So even based on the current desktop valuation, you're up $560,000. How does it feel?
It feels amazing to know that it's come up that far, especially in that amount of time.
You bought at the right time, 2020, pre-COVID.
Yeah, That's where it was.
You've seen the growth since then.
Yeah, just sit there silently. It just grows.
Just living your life.
Yeah.
As we spoke a bit earlier, it's just time in the market. There's a lot of people who aren't in the market that should have got into the market or could have got into the market but said no. You guys said yes, and you're up 550 to 800,000.
Yeah.
And I think we know that if you took it to the market, desktop valuation doesn't take into account your pool or anything else. But even that alone, you're up 550,000.
Yeah, and I think that's where it was, I had my own vision with it all, with wanting to get a pool and deck it so that it's all one, so that it all comes under the same banner, and then later on down the track, hopefully we get more profit out of it later on if we were to sell it.
You certainly will. But you designed it too for indoor-outdoor living. I remember your house and your pool, your bifolds open, or your sliders stack away so it's full indoor-outdoor flow. I remember coming to the handover back in 2020 and it's an amazing place.
Yeah, it is. And we went pillarless too because we wanted that, like no restriction,
All the little custom features we did back in the day.
Yeah. Oh, heck yeah.
But even back then, 2020, I think then, even 600,000, you were pushing a higher end of a price bracket.
It was.
And it was either go to Pimpama, I would say it's more Coomera because it's right on the verge, in a great estate, or it was to go further out to go to Logan.
Which we were trying to stay, stay up the Gold Coast end.
Yeah, me and Grace, we were searching all over the place for a property closer to Runaway Bay.
We were,
Yeah, just no land.
No.
But even Logan Reserve, and it was only a couple of months ago, the latest house and land packages are over $1 million.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Because even back in 2020, they would have been 500,000 when you spent 600,000 to go to Pimpama. And it was nearly a push you to Logan Reserve, but you come up with some extra funds to make it work.
Yeah.
But you've got into such a great area now.
Yeah, I think we were the second or third house in our cul-de-sac.
Yeah.
It was a small street, so we got in early.
And we had trouble getting your land. I was looking back at emails and we were up, down and around, Yeah,
we remember it fell through the first we bought in
Gainsborough.
Yeah.
And
then Jeff's mum had passed away and we had to rush back to New Zealand, obviously not planned.
Yeah.
And then by the time we got back, we had missed the deadlines and came up with the property we're in now. And I remember you saying, because it was more expensive, it was a nicer street, you said, there'll be a silver lining, it's meant to be. And
good sales tactic, eh?
Yeah. It was. Even though we probably didn't want to listen to it.
Yeah.
but it was good,
Such a better
But it's
street.
just facts.
Well, it was,
And look at where you're sitting today.
Oh, for sure.
Did you guys own property in NZ?
Yeah, we had our house. Yeah, we had that 30 years ago. I was young.
When did you sell it?
2 or 3 years after we got here. which of course, you know, looking back, well, that was a
Have
big
you
mistake.
kept it now, eh? What is it worth today?
Oh,
Have you looked?
No,
No.
don't even want to look. It's devastating. But it was just too hard. We couldn't keep up with tenants back home. We were
Yeah.
struggling. They were just, we just didn't have the right setup when we left.
Was that in Makatu?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was just having the wrong people in there, and you know, and I was having to fly back and chase rent and all that sort of thing.
Yeah,
I couldn't do it
okay.
over the phone.
Yeah.
And I think the last time we went, when we did go back, we sort of made up our decision. It was just better to sell it
Yeah.
and sort of cut our losses. And
Well, we made a good profit, but we sort of sat on that without being in the position to rebuy.
Yeah.
You know, I was not working. I'd taken like 10 years off nursing. Like, you know, we were on the one income for such a
Yeah.
long time. Then we built ourselves back up.
5 kids?
6.
6 kids? No
Yeah.
TVs?
no TVs. we
Not
have
many.
now.
Plenty of TVs now.
Got a plaster over, can't turn it off.
We've got too many TVs now. So,
No remotes, no remotes.
so yeah, we have come a long way, and I mean, we are in a pretty good position. We know that.
Yeah.
You know, it's all to you and that for getting us over the line with it all and that. It's,
Just educating about what can be achieved, and from that there, it's just time in the market. I can't predict the future. I think we know the future. All you've got to do is sit in the market.
Exactly.
You know, are we going to get a correction? Possibly, maybe not in southeast Queensland. The predictions are between now and the Olympics, the growth is supposed to be insane. In the next year, they're predicting 20 to 30%. Well, if that's the case, and your property's 1.5 mil,
Just like that.
you're 400 for 450k instant up.
yeah,
So it'll be close to a $2 million property.
yeah, it's impressive figures.
Oh, yeah.
I
Well, it's
mean, we
money
just-
you can't save.
It isn't. You can barely earn that kind of money.
100%. And the money you earn goes on daily bills, and you can save a little bit, but then you fly back to NZ or something comes up. You know, you've got your kids, you help them out, and it's just part and parcel. So those lump sums and the retirement fund, or, you know, the retirement money and getting there is built on property for most people. And if you don't get into the property market, unfortunately, a lot of people aren't going to make that type of money to retire.
No, that's right.
You know, Pimpama, Coomera, Ormo is the centre point between Brisbane and the Gold Coast,
Yeah.
and that's why it's exploded. My first clients were in 2015, and people laughed, and I just said, well, it's where you can afford.
Yeah, for sure.
There was no land on the coast that fitted most borrowing capacities back then.
I agree.
But the people like yourself, but I got people back there in 2015, and they got in with $1,000 just to secure. Now they're sitting on 1.2 million plus.
Gee.
They're laughing at the people who laughed at them 10 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's that outer Onion area. So I remember when we first got here and Taylor interviewed for King's Christian College, or actually did an interview, they wanted to offer him a scholarship. But you talk to anyone, King's Christian College used to be a rural school because there was
That's true.
nothing out and around that.
Yeah.
Have you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it just shows as time goes, the onion ring goes further out. It was only 5 years ago no one wanted to go to Bow Desert. A lot of people can't even afford Bow Desert now.
Yeah.
That's 800 plus thousand.
Yeah.
You know, some of it's $1 million. Logan Reserve's $1 million now. Unfortunately, even Brisbane North's 800 to $1 million. Sunshine Coast house and land packages are $1 million plus.
No, it's crazy. I mean, we look at the market every now and then, you know, just to see what's going on, and everyone's just getting pushed further and further out west in that.
Yeah, and some of them are going to be pushed just to stay renting forever unless
I
they,
know. Get
like
in.
if you're co-renting, you need a co-buy. To get into today's market, you need probably 150 minimum K income. No debt, no kids. While the interest rates are high, that's borderline going to get you into the market. You probably need 160, 180. And if you're a single income, you need more because you're paying a higher threshold in tax.
Such a struggle for so many.
Over the last couple of few years, you helped one of your kids get into the market. That shows the struggle. And I always say to people, if it's this hard for you to get into the market, for myself, I've got an 11-year-old and a 10-year-old. What's the market going to be in 10 years, 15 years from them? If properties are $2 million plus, how do they get in?
Yeah, I know.
What type of income do they need?
Yeah, we're looking at all that sort of thing.
Yeah.
That's why we're just trying to get sort of things sort of set up now.
One at a time.
Yeah.
Tick the box, tax minimisation, put your money to work, all under management, let someone rent it, pay off your mortgage, sit there.
That's our goal, isn't it?
Yeah. Like you said, it's always been time in the market, you know, but you've got to have your finger in the pie.
You've got to do it. And I always say to people, like, when you're looking at this as your next investment property and you've got to top it up, And some people have to top it up from $30 to $250 or whatever it is per week. But if you can save $250 a week, that's good, but you're not getting capital growth.
Yeah, for sure.
But if you can get one more property by leveraging your current property and pay $30 to $250, $300 a week, be the best savings you've ever done. Because in two years, let's say 800K property now becomes 1.1 million, and you've only been saving $1,000 a month,
Yep.
$12,000 a year. For 2 years, it's cost you $24,000 to come up $200,000. Pretty good growth.
Yeah, massive growth.
Good
So-
figures to look at.
So invest. That's what I say to people. It's like, and it's even with my team, they're saying, oh, geez, that's come up at $300 a week. I said, that's an easy one. Like if you can own a home for $300 a week and you can afford to save $300 a week,
Yeah.
get the property. Get your tax minimisation, have it under property management, and
Yeah.
sit back.
Let them do all the work.
Yep. Because once you get that, pull your equity again from both properties, get your third, get your fourth,
And so on and so on.
and so on and so on. Because in 10 years' time from now, you can sell one, pay off your own a rock house, be freehold, and then the rest is cash flow. And that's the goal.
Definitely the goal.
That's got you thinking, eh, Jeff?
Oh, it's always had me thinking. It's just when I talk to you, it's just you're rattling off all these
Inspo.
figures and that, and like we know where you're going, we get where you're from and that.
Yeah.
I mean, we see it all.
My dad's 76, doesn't own a home. He was renting before he come here. He didn't know what his next rental looked like. He was sleeping on my sister's couch there for a little bit, worried. So for us, if we don't change something, we won't break the cycle.
Yeah. And sometimes it's just the not knowing. They just don't know where to start. It's always mission impossible. Too big,
Uneducated.
too hard. Exactly.
At school, we weren't taught that.
No.
Still not taught that. We're not taught mortgages, debt, finance, credit cards, loan repayments, or even how to save.
It just made it a lot easier when we bumped into you, even though we were trying to sort out other brokers and what have you.
Yeah.
And then we had to talk to you and that, and I know you just
Well, I
made the
think I just
process
sort
a whole
of,
lot easier.
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you reached out, I remember it, and we had a
Yeah.
good talk.
Yeah, for sure.
And then we got you into the office and just showed you through it.
And it was
Yeah.
just steamrolled there.
Yeah.
But I think we'd sort of forgotten, and I think I was talking to Jeff, and I was like, oh, Darren. Like,
Yeah.
what's us out Darren? Because we'd gone for you back home. I remember going through some
Yeah.
insurance and stuff, life insurance and that.
Yeah.
And then that was it. The rest was history. It was
Yeah.
just that easy to pick up. But I guess it's also trusting in your broker.
Well, our process.
Yeah, and
eh?
the whole process.
We hand over the structure. And we know that we've reverse engineered your position. We know how much you can borrow. Subject to valuation, 99.9%, you'll get approved.
Yeah.
And that's the key part about it, is if you go to a broker, like I said, Ashante's mum and dad went to six brokers in their bank, all got declined. They come to us, and it's only because they don't know how to structure them
Yeah.
to make it work. And all I do is structure it so that we know that once we package your home, subject to valuation, we will get you 100% approved.
Yeah.
But it's when you secure a house, do all the paperwork and find out, oh no, we can't buy that. You've overspent by 200,000 that you don't have. Then you start hating the process.
100%. And that's
You
when
know?
people quit
Yeah.
and they give it up.
They walk back, hop on the rental treadmill, and they just walk on that for another 10 years. And unfortunately, in the last 5 years, you guys have come up 550, 800,000 by saying yes and hopping off the rental treadmill. And the people in the last 5 years haven't come up that. All they've done is paid off the landlord's mortgage. Landlord's gone,
Thank you.
why thank you, renters.
Yeah.
And they've bought another rental property
I know.
and another one.
Because you've secured their mortgage.
Yeah.
I mentioned to other people and that, friends and that, why don't you, get a house or something? It's just dead money.
Yeah.
Just paying someone else's mortgage,
They won't feel it until they have to move out of that location because the rent's too expensive. So what's going to happen is if the market over the next 6 to 7 years comes up 50%, 100%, guess what comes up? Rent.
Yep.
Sure does.
And if rent comes up and you can't afford rent, you've got to go to the next onion ring
pushed
that you
out.
can afford. So people that were on the Gold Coast have gone to Coomera, but if that rent comes up, they're going to go to Logan, Bow Desert, and before they know it, they've got to fly up north to get something affordable. But even properties up there, Townsville, Mackay, 800K plus.
Yeah.
And the rents up there is more expensive than here. FIFO.
Yeah, yeah.
Mackay rent yield for rental investment is crazy. We can't get enough packages up there. You're getting decent sized land still, because down here, you're getting 250 squares to 300 square metre lots. You're getting a smaller home now for 800K plus.
No, but You know, that's what's available, and sometimes that's what you've got to take as well
Yeah.
to get into the market.
100%.
You know, we never thought we'd go. I mean, our house at Makitu was half an acre. That's all we knew.
Yeah.
3 hours of lawn mowing, and but it's just
Who did
the
that?
norm.
You or Jeff?
Oh, me.
She did.
You know, but that was the norm. And then you come here and you just realise it's about location, and if
Yeah.
this is where you want to be,
Yeah.
there's a little bit of a, you know.
Well, when I was a kid, and it'll be the same for you guys, before you bought, it was an acre. Like, you never
Yeah.
had anything small. Like, we had 31 acres right on the estuary.
Yeah.
yeah,
Have
man.
you know what I mean? And that's what you grew up with, big lots.
It was the norm.
Yeah. But the norm today is 250, 300 squares.
Yeah.
Living on top of each other.
Yeah. And people moan about that. But I would prefer to own a home living on top of my neighbours, come up 400K,
Yeah. By
then
sitting,
go buy something else bigger.
Yeah.
But if that's the way you get into the market, get in.
Yeah. I mean, it's paid off for us. I mean, all we do is just go to work and it just grows.
Yeah. Your mortgage is there, you pay it, you live, you've got a nice house, you've got a pool. It's home. And that's what people don't understand. Going home, opening up the garage to your home. Landlord isn't going to kick you out because you don't have one. Your mortgage is going to be a lot less than your frickin' rent that you're
know.
going to go and pay.
Yep.
You've got equity now to go do investment properties, which we are doing, and you're in a high growth area. Gold Coast, Brisbane, Southeast Queensland, hot property.
Yeah, no, the price isn't going anywhere anyway. It's just going up.
Oh, it is. It's incredible what it's done in COVID. You know, just the timing that we, you know, managed to build. I just can't believe what it's done. It's just given us so much leverage now.
You wouldn't have thought you'd be millionaires by just saying yes in 2020.
Yeah.
And not being rude, once you get this other investment property, you're multi-millionaires. And if the market goes the way it is, you'll be multiples.
Yeah.
And it's just time in the market and leveraging.
It's a good journey to start off on,
Yeah.
especially, you know, it's good to actually get into an investment property this time around, now that we can.
How long ago was it when we were looking at one and we're this close to it?
Yeah, I know.
I can tell you, it was just over 2.5 years.
2.5 years ago, and then you just flicked the switch to help your kids.
Yeah.
You know, and we were looking at Logan, weren't we?
We were pretty much, we already drove out, we seen
and
the
that would have
section.
been 500K. So Hannah Miles, same time, 3 years ago. She was probably a year premature than you because we handed her home over December 2022. She's up 400,000.
Yeah,
Oh,
I
yeah.
definitely know.
We were driving out there checking out our new property, and then you know,
And we were already getting the design.
Yeah.
Like, you know, like, yeah, we'll pick this, you know, this
Yeah.
build, and then we just saw the struggle of our kids, and they were just getting knocked back, and it was COVID.
Yeah.
COVID hit. They needed another 20,000 deposit. They were living with us.
Yeah,
like
they had a baby too, eh?
yeah, and then they had
Yeah.
a baby. Like it was quite devastating to watch their struggle because they were so close. And then that's when we had to pull the pin, you know, and then went guarantor for them.
But you imagine that you did get that Logan property. You're up 400,000 plus your 800,000.
I know.
Even if we just call it 600,000, you're up $1 million in 5 years.
I know.
Just by saying yes and letting us build your 2 homes.
yeah, no,
And then you've just secured your 3rd.
yeah,
Exactly.
I know. Yeah, it's just, you know, our oldest daughter. You know, she always asks us for help in that.
I love that you have. I love that you've helped her. The best part about it, you've come up on your property, you've secured your next one. What made you think about getting an investment property after you finalised your daughter's house?
Oh, it's just knowing we had so much equity in our property and it was just sitting there doing nothing.
Yeah.
We always had the vision on buying real estate, like it was always going to be an investment property. You know, obviously pulled the pin, helped our daughter out. They were in a position, you know, they could pay us, you know, remove us from the loan, go their own, so they've gone separate. But the minute that happened and we knew that was confirmed, it was like, Darren,
Let's go.
let's go. Like, we need to go.
Yeah.
You know, because we knew the longer we leave it, the harder it's going to get. So we just, you know, we were in good financial positions to do it.
Yeah.
And that was the difference. We knew we could afford it, and it was just the timing, but it was just like, Darren, we're ready. Like, what do we need to do?
What do we do? How do we make it work?
Yeah. Where can we go?
And then I started talking about tax minimisation, leveraging the current mortgage, getting in.
Yeah.
We got you a good yield on the, you know, rent return and all stuff like that. So
100%.
it all adds up well.
Yeah, and I mean paying that extra couple of hundred, 300, whatever it may be, you know, it's
The best savings you can do.
Yeah,
Right? Once
yeah,
you
like I said,
turn
yeah.
around, if your first house was an investment house, the one in Pimpama, and you'd paid even $500 a week, $2,000 a month, $24,000 a year, that's $125,000. You've come up 500 to 800,000.
Exactly, you do the maths.
You'd save that every day.
Yeah.
You'd go put $500 a week away in savings, even if you had to cut out on your Netflix.
Yeah.
But don't turn the TV off, Jeff.
Never. Absolutely.
You know what happens when
24/7.
the TV goes off?
But you just would, and this is what people don't understand. If you've got equity in your property, and you can get a brand new investment home, you get your tax, or you get your tax minimization or depreciation. You get someone paying off your mortgage, and you're topping it up. You're only topping it up because we've got high interest rates. Interest rates come down. Rental goes up every renewal, and they're going to go up pretty big over the next 2 to 3 to 7 years. It becomes self-sufficient pretty quick. If it takes you 1 to 2 years and you're saving 300, 500, but you can come up 2, 3, 400,000, why wouldn't you?
Yeah, definitely.
And I think we also wanted the security of new builds,
Yes.
because that's just the safety net. You might be paying, a certain amount, but you just know you've just got more security in a, new home.
Get the warranty.
The warranty.
You're not buying someone else's problem.
Exactly.
You get your depreciation, which is tax minimization.
Yeah. That's why we didn't really look into existing properties.
And you're getting into a new estate. And the best thing about new estates is they release a certain amount of land. Once that's done, they release the next lot. But they put up the price by 30
they
to
do.
50,000. By the time you build, you could have 2 or 3 more releases.
Yeah.
Up in Mackay, I know 3,000 lots around that area coming up. It's only going to keep growing.
3,000 lots.
Oh, there's more. There's more. And there's other estates in there with well over 1,000. There's just more coming. And every time they release, the price never stays the same.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've only just started getting their price. Like the market in the last 18 months has been moving for them, which is the best part because you kind of go Melbourne, Sydney move, then Gold Coast. But Gold Coast has grown so much since COVID. We've caught up to the bigger cities with prices.
Yes, it'll always be about Melbourne.
Always.
The rich
Your
wealth.
But there's more money getting spent into Queensland. It's warmer. People want to be here. Lifestyle.
Yeah,
and we saw that with COVID. They all got locked down and they all come up.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, their money's blowing up our market.
Yeah.
But we've now got $10 to $30 million homes getting sold on the coast weekly. There wasn't that much money before COVID.
Yeah.
I know you've got a beautiful home in Pimpama. What does your dream home look like? Is there such a thing outside the Pimpama home? If it's just you two, what does your dream home look like and where?
I
don't
don't know.
even know.
We keep on looking at programs. It gives us some lot of crazy ideas in that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I've sort of thought about that. And, is it the whole acreage thing? Is it having, heaps of room for the kids and the mokos? And
Yeah.
But then I also think, sometimes enough is enough, and then just let it all grow and then pass it down to the next generation. I don't know if I need to keep going bigger or bolder or, it's a nice whare. We
Just
built
the bed,
it that
really.
way.
Yeah, it's just the bed. As long as you love home.
Exactly.
There's definitely a lot of houses out there to look at in that, but I mean, we're pretty happy where we are at the moment.
Yeah. Oh, it's a beautiful home. I remember when we just about handed it over and I come over to the practical completion and we're walking around it. It's like, because it was one of our bigger, nicer designed homes, because like you said, we did a pillarless indoor, outdoor.
I remember all of that.
And all around the pool and all that. It was a beautiful home. Like it was definitely up spec, custom.
Yeah. And that's what we wanted. We sort of knew we had a big whānau, there was a lot of us. So it wasn't going to be a small, it needed to be sort of big, but enough that it was completely livable.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I can't say.
You wanted to be in Runaway Bay. What was the last words you said to each other when Pimpama was the option?
We might. It was like, I think we might just have to.
We didn't really have a choice. It's pretty much where we could go. I mean, we're looking at Pacific Cove. We are on Pacific Cove. I mean, Gainsborough Greens in it.
Yeah.
And I mean, then we had to sort of go back there. Because initially we were looking at Pacific Cove. Yeah. That 600 block.
Yeah.
And we ended up going to Gainsborough. Yeah. And then it fell over, and so we just jumped on it straight away and back into...
that whole area out there is so nice, though. And you got so many brand new schools.
Yeah. The whole area is completely developed.
It's a whole new suburb. Westfields is built. It's huge. They've just got to sort the traffic.
Yeah.
But that's time.
Yeah.
Traffic shit everywhere.
Yeah, definitely.
So when you say that, you had no choice, the hardest thing I see is people would prefer to stay renting forever. And there's going to be people listening to me saying this. And in the last 10 years, there's been hundreds of people that could have got into the property market, but because they didn't get their dream location or dream home,
They stood back.
they've stayed back. And unfortunately, some of them will never own a home unless they pull together. And that's the next part of living, is that if you can't afford to get into the market, co-buy.
Yeah.
Because you're going to co-live anyway. You're better off, like, let's say us three were flatmates. And between, singly, we couldn't do it. But between three of us, if all three of us bought your property 3 years ago, single, all three of us, and we're up 600,000, we could pull out equity to go a second home, go get a third home, and then we divvy up a home each. You can do that today, but people don't want to do it.
Yeah.
Well, we're hoping we can start building that for the rest of our kids when they're, try and get them into their properties as well.
Yeah.
Obviously one's already established, and then just sort of getting them, the second and third one, ready.
I say to people that if you don't own properties as parents, you're going to struggle to see your kids get properties. If you don't have equity. So you hear about kids down in Melbourne and Sydney over the last 2-3 decades. And unfortunately for a lot of them, because their prices are so high and have been for years, if your parents didn't own a home and couldn't help you out with equity,
you're not going to get a
like
chance.
some people that live in Sydney have got no choice but to go to Newcastle. Newcastle now is a train ride, and it's a decent one. But there was people who said no to us even back then when we were building in the Hunter Valley, Newcastle area, Lochinvar. Where they got in back 5 years ago, again, they'd be up 400, 500, 600K.
Yeah, we made the commitment, with not wanting to pay rent.
Yeah.
Even though we had a good landlord in that, and then once we got a hold of you on that, and it was like, no, we're committed, we're excited, and we didn't really want to take the handbrake off, we're full steam ahead. We'll just go along with it.
You were renting for 12 years, am I correct? 2008
I think
to
so, because
2020?
I took 10 years off nursing, so I had, literally just a full-time mum, so we had one income.
So how much rent were you paying towards the end?
It's 400, I think it was. No, we only paid 400.
Yeah, it was cheap rent.
Yeah.
He was a good landlord.
He just kept it the same, eh?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
He didn't up it like a lot of the rest, like what you
But we
normally
looked
get.
after him.
So it's 20,000 a year. You're 12 years. You're still $240,000 in rent. Back then, that's half a home.
It was.
So you could have paid off half a home plus come up a couple $100K in equity. But that's part of uneducated.
Yep.
That's part of having to stay renting.
Situations.
Yep, situation, life. But the best part, you're not now.
No.
No. Maybe we should have had our heads screwed on a little bit more then, but, here we are now, though,
Yeah, we can all think that way, though, if you know what I mean. It's all hindsight, But the best part about it is you got in. We nearly missed out.
Yeah.
But even if you had to go to Logan Reserve, I've got some clients who've come up majorly there.
Oh, look, there's nothing wrong.
Yeah.
Because anywhere is somewhere.
Yeah.
Right?
Anywhere's a home, eh?
It is.
As long as you own it. That's what I say to people. You just, if you've got to travel, like my home down south, I picked because it was by the water and I could wakeboard. But I travel 45 minutes. People today are going, oh, no, that's too far. And I'm just like, you've got $2,000 deposit. It's not even enough for your next rental.
Yes.
Let alone, the furniture removalist.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean? But people are so uneducated, but they get in the way of themselves to owning a home. And a lot of people now, it's rent-fest. Live where you want to live, but invest where you can afford.
Yeah,
Unfortunately,
so
for some
true.
people, where they can afford is not where they want to live.
Yeah.
Well, don't. Get an investment. Let someone pay off your mortgage. Get your equity, then go.
Yeah.
But you've got to get equity.
Yeah.
Like I said, if you're up that 550 to 800,000, how do you save that in 5 years?
No.
You don't.
You can't.
Doesn't matter what income you're on. The more you earn, the more you spend.
Yeah.
You get a pay rise, you've already spent it 6 months in advance.
Well and truly.
You're just playing catch up.
Yeah.
That's what I mean, we've just sat there. We've just gone to work and it's just growing.
Yeah.
We've doubled our money in that time.
Yeah. Crazy, eh? Doubled your money and some.
And some.
Yeah.
It's amazing for us just to look at it, sit back and look at it.
Yeah. But it shows what's possible for the next 10 years. Because that's about your window of opportunity now to get to retirement. And you're well and truly on your way. It's just now, what do you do to get that? So you get to retirement and you enjoy the last years. Like, unfortunately, a lot of people who get to retirement are on the pension, and 2-minute noodles is gourmet.
Yeah.
Not being rude, fuck that. I don't mind 2-minute noodles, but not every day. I want a bit of Wagyu with that. But a lot of these people don't own homes. Where are they going to go live? Can they get a place? Because I know on the pension it's hard to get rentals, especially when we've got a shortage and there's people out there
willing to
in
pay
your position
higher.
that don't own a home that will pay higher.
Yeah.
Through COVID, you know, if you walked into a rental, those Southerners were paying 2 years in advance,
Yeah,
1
man,
year in
I know.
advance.
So
If it was a $1,200 rent, they'll pay you $1,500 just to take it. I heard horror stories where people were buying houses over the phone because they couldn't leave the house, but yet they bought some lemons of properties.
Yeah.
When you talk about old or brand new.
Yeah.
Well, you bought with us once, you know the quality.
Well, exactly. And buyer beware. I mean, you sort of know you've got to do research too, you know, and you know your market and your builders, but that's exactly why we came back.
Yeah.
We've tried and, you know, tested and it worked for us. It's been 5 years.
Yeah. If I had kept my whole property portfolio back then, now, I wouldn't have worked another day.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
But that's not the way life works for some
No.
of us. Again, we weren't educated. B, we only learn as we go.
Yeah.
All we can do is not make the same mistake twice.
And to set the kids up, you know, like we,
Yeah.
you know, we chose to have a big, you know, whānau. So
Yeah.
we just sort of want to be able to prepare them as best we can,
Yeah.
you know, and having that leverage. And my parents did the same. They helped us buy our first property,
Yeah.
you know, because they had the equity and, you know, we could never have done it, you
No.
know, not at I think I was 19. You know, they saw an opportunity and helped me and my sister. She bought a property too. You know, so I'm grateful for that. So now it's paying it forward. We were able to help our daughter out. She's established. We'll get this investment property, build,
Yeah.
and then we can leave it all for the kids because that's what it's about.
That's what it's about. And if you're not doing that, your kids are going to struggle.
Yeah.
And I've said in many podcasts, it was, like my kids are 11 and 12 now. They would have been 1 or 2 or 3 around that. And I remember laying in bed with the mother. And I was shit scared. I remember laying there thinking, something happens to us. And we know how easy that is. We
Yeah.
get that phone call and someone's passed
Yeah.
overnight. You don't know when your time's up.
Yep.
But you sit there thinking, who's going to look after them? Their grandparents on either side, my side or her side, don't own properties.
Yeah.
So no one's going to secure them or look after them. And that made me push to where I am today.
Yeah.
And it's a big reason why I probably have worked 7 days a week to make
Yeah.
sure that I leave my kids. And it's not about leaving them money to be stupid with, just so that they've got security and a place to call home if they ever need it.
Yeah.
Your Makatu home, what did you pay for it?
80.
80,000.
Oh, those good days.
Yeah.
Yeah. 80,000.
No way.
Yep.
Half an acre of the house.
Yeah. 19, so that would have been 30 years ago.
Yeah, 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Close to 30 years.
But
And
that
you
was still big money then.
But and it was quite normal. Like
Yeah.
it wasn't like we were like, whoa, that's the cheapest house that there ever was. Makitu was desirable, but it wasn't like it's nothing like it is now.
No.
I mean,
Well, Pukahina was $1 million 20 years ago.
yeah,
So Makatu was the same. Makatu's closer to
Yeah.
you know, the mountain Papamā.
Yeah.
It nearly joins, doesn't it?
it does. Just go across Little Waihi and paddle
Away
across.
you're there.
So all those prices have come up to
Yeah.
they're up
Oh,
around
yeah.
the $1 million mark. now.
Oh.
Especially ones up on Town Point and that, you know.
One of my first homes I bought was about 80K. And I bought it from Mortgagee Auction in Rotorua. So, yeah, thinking backwards, when you say that figure, I'm like, especially when you're talking $1 million homes
Well, you
today.
think that's impossible, but
Yeah.
no, I remember ours was 80K. We
Well,
paid.
my instant thought was, man, that's back in when my grandparents were buying homes.
Yeah.
But it wasn't.
No.
It was when we were buying homes. And it just shows how far the property market has come up. Where building costs have gone, you know, where land prices have gone.
That would have been 97. I remember that because Hinadani was only a couple of years old. And that's exactly what the market, if you could have just told yourself what the market's going to look like, even in 10 years, 20 years, you just couldn't imagine.
Well, we were educated at school, would have more knowledge on how to manage it better, how to get property managers.
Yeah.
If you know what I mean, but we're not. So you try to do it yourself.
We did.
Because you're trying to save $1.
We rented it out to friends, like we did it ourselves. We were the
and then
landlords.
friends don't pay.
Yeah.
Hence why I was doing flights back to New Zealand. Driving around the neighbourhood.
The best part about today, we've got such an advanced world where property managers, it's all, you know, we've got phones now, we've got photos, you get
Yeah.
updates, money's into your bank account. If it's not, we've got a system now that sends arrears notices and can get people out of homes.
Yeah.
That wasn't really that back then, was it?
No.
So hence you were flying back, which has probably cost you more in flights than it did in frickin' rent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's good to look back on it, you know. That was then and this is now. And
Yeah. Well, you've learnt more now.
Yeah.
You're more well educated. You're going to keep getting educated, especially now with the investment property and tax minimisation and, you know, it's under management and everything.
oh, it's definitely a whole new ballgame for me and Grace, you know,
Yeah.
to get an investment property and learn something different.
It was a whole new ball game back in 2020 when we designed your home.
Yeah.
And you guys were putting your own little touches to it, like the pillars, the pool
Yeah.
and the design and everything. That was a whole new world. But 5 years later, 550 to 800,000 up. Now looking at the next one. So you're very well educated and you're
Yeah.
learning,
Yeah,
Yeah.
we are. Yeah.
which makes you pretty confident to be able to just sign the paperwork and keep moving forward.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
I think when we were signing this lot of paperwork, it's like,
Been there before, done
No,
that
it was
again.
like, it was just it. It was, you know, like, oh,
Yeah.
didn't realise it was so easy.
Well, the first time always feels overwhelming, eh? 'Cause
It
it's the
was.
first time you've done it.
It feels like
Well, you-
constantly going back and forth. And,
Yeah.
But yeah, this process was so much easier.
This process is easier because you already own a home and we're using equity. When you're not, it's starting fresh with all the paperwork to get approved.
Yeah.
Where this one here, all we're doing is an application to refinance, pull your equity, and then getting a mortgage for the investment property. Where your first one, you're buying the home straight off the bat.
Yeah.
but no, it's a lot easier this
Yeah.
time around, that's for sure.
But it's the A because it's equity, but B because it's now feels normal. Because when it's not, you're like, oh my gosh, what am I signing here?
Oh, yeah. It was scary.
Darren, what's this question?
Yeah. I think that's what it was. Back and forth, back and forth.
Absolute pleasure, Jeff and Grace. It's going to be exciting to watch your journey move forward now with the investment property. And then from that there, obviously, we'll sit down and talk about further growth, further properties, and then obviously helping the rest of the kids. Thank you for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe and follow to all our socials. Look forward to showing you more episodes and talking to you soon. Thank you.